Hey, Jessica Lynn Original friends and fans, this is Jessica here. I am so excited to share with you something brand new. If you're new to our channel, my name is Jessica and I'm the owner of Jessica Lynn Original. I love card making, original art, and everything that you see. For the most part, I draw myself, and I'll tell you when I don't, but for the most part I draw it all. Now, what you're going to watch today is I am actually going to show you how to create your own cash envelope. Now, you might say to me, what the heck is that? I have been working on figuring out a better way to start saving up for vacations. Yeah, we're Disney nuts. We love to travel as a family there. It's one of our favorite places. And I love coming up with a way to be creative for the family to take all of our money and kind of keep organized with it and actually start building up a budget for our vacations. Now, I started watching Dave Ramsey quite a long time ago. I love hearing the people shout out that they're debt free and all of that good stuff. And I've been there before. It's kind of like a diet for me, you know. I've been there and then I've relapsed, and then I've been there and then I've relapsed. I think we all have. And so what I decided is I'm going to start making my own custom envelopes, because maybe something like this will help me stay focused and creative. So on Friday, I decided to sit with my daughters and watch The Descendants 3, which if you haven't watched it, go and do so. It's fabulous. It's so sweet. It's Disney goof. It's good. It's just good fun times. And the girls loved it and they can't wait for Halloween now. And so I felt compelled to doodle up a pop art. And so I drew this just using black line art pen. And I doodled up a whole page of this fun little print. And I tried to do all like goofy Mickey foods and stuff. So like there's a turkey leg, there's Mickey pizza, there's a Mickey pretzel and a little chicken nugget and some beverages, and there's a churro. And then I kind of threw my signature little dots and the little stars, and I threw those all over the page. When I was done watching the movie, I came upstairs and scanned it in and just cleaned up the art, because when you draw with black ink pen, it smears a little bit, but not a big deal. So I went ahead and did all of that, and then I printed this out so I had a nice final version. And then I took my glitter pens, and they are awesome. They're from my color store. They were $14, and I got 60 colors. So think about like if people love to do the adult coloring book, same kind of thing. And anyway, so what you're watching here is that I'm coloring them in with all the glitter pens. I tried to make it as vibrant and original as I could. So I'll go ahead and let you watch me color this in. And then in just a little bit, I'll show you how I went ahead and created my envelope. It is so satisfying to me to see all of the little foods starting to come to life. And you can kind of see it. I shifted my light a little bit so that you can see just how sparkly these pens are. I think it looks so cute. I love that little blue drink right there. I think he looks so adorable. So when I went ahead and pulled out my cutter, I have a Fisker cutter that I use. And when I went and pulled that out, I realized the art was only going to be about 5 inches wide by about 9 inches long. So if you think about that, folding that in half, that means the finished size of the inside of the envelope would only be 2.5 inches. Now don't get me wrong, a dollar bill, 5, 10s, 20s, whatever, would fit within that, but obviously I'm planning for a Disney trip, so I'm going to need something just a little larger. So I went with a little bit bigger, unconventional size. We're going to end up at about 3 inches by 9 inches, which obviously will then be actually on here 6 inches by 9 inches, right? Because we're going to fold it in half. And when I realized that, I went ahead and grabbed some other paper to put in the background because I wanted to make sure that I did get the full 3 inches for the top, or the height of the envelope, and then 9 inches for the width. And you can see here, I just realized also that there was one little spot that was going to get cut off, and so I wanted to make sure that it was colored in and good to go. Now, I had a couple of different options for paper. I was thinking maybe green. I found some orange paper, which just wasn't quite right. So then I found a little darker orange, which almost kind of, I thought it just brought out the color of like the churro and the chicken, the little chicken leg and the pretzels, and I thought that really sort of enhanced the color. My original gut instinct was to go with red or yellow since it was kind of a Disney Mickey color, but I think the orange is going to look really good, so you'll see that in just a moment. So again, for you when you're working on yours, just remember that the design on the outside is going to be twice the size you want the finished. So in other words, if you want 2.5 inches for the height of your envelope, then you're going to make sure you cut it at 5 inches. Or if you want it to be 6, then it's going to be 3 inches for the height. So just remember that when you're building it, truly all it is just a big rectangle, and make sure that you accommodate for enough paper for the fold. That's really the biggest trick I can tell you. Now, I went ahead and grabbed some orange paper, and again, here's my laminator. Let me just show you what that looks like. It's hot. It's an Amazon Basic. It is awesome. I will link below if you're interested in getting one of these laminators. This is not sponsored, but I will tell you that laminator, I have no idea where you've been my whole life. I think you are amazing, and I wish that you would have come into my life sooner. It's actually really reasonably priced, and there's sheets that you can buy, and you get a 100-pack, and it's like, I want to say like $12, and I think so for the laminator and the sheets, we're talking like $22. So it's actually a really good buy, not too expensive, but again, I'll link down below the Amazon link for you. And see, when I went to fold it, I realized, again, right here is where I realized it was only going to be 2.5 inches, and I wanted just a little bit more height. Alright, and here we go with the final cut. And you saw me put some glue on there because I just wanted to make sure that the pattern paper that I drew and colored didn't shift. So again, here's where I'm going to be cutting that. I want it a total of 9 inches long. And then what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that I have it 6 inches. So I'm going to be adding approximately, how much? Okay, so we were at 2.5. We're going to be adding a little over half an inch. It'll trim down in just a moment when I fold it in half, and I'll show you how that works. Because my goal is to make this about 3 inches, so I'm just editing that. There we go. Once we have it all cut, we're going to go ahead and fold it in half. So let me just move my little cutter here. There we go. So there it is. I love the orange. I think it's beautiful. Now here's the biggest trick. Make sure that you take the time and line up your edges. Don't be sloppy, because if you're sloppy, it will be sloppy as well. Okay. Now when we do the final lamination and trim, we will take about a 1/16 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, off the top of the orange, which is why we cut it just a hair larger. Now you can see there's that fun pattern paper. It's got the nice solid orange. Now I'm just going to take this and just sort of push down and make sure it gets a nice crease on this edge, because I do have to run it through a laminator and I don't want it to fold up or cause any bubbles or anything weird. Now if I was just using a single sheet of paper, it would probably be a little more bendy. So just remember, the weight of your paper can also change how your envelopes are. I'm just going to go ahead and write on the front. Now again, you could print off a nice little label. You could handwrite on there. This one is just going to say Disney Fund. There we go. Put a little Mickey on there. We'll add one more on the other side. They're so cute. Alright, now this is my favorite part. Once we have it all set, we're going to go and grab a lamination sheet. So let me just get that all together. Now when you do this, make sure that you push the envelope, if you will, all the way up to that edge, right? Because think of it like, oh god, those old book covers, that's all I can think of. But put your project to that side. And then what you're going to want to do is see if there's anything else, because this is a full page. So you don't want to really waste it. If you've got other stuff that needs to be laminated, why not just toss them in there? Because once you run the sheet through, you can't run it through again, because it'll glue it all together, right? So I went and found a couple of old things that I had cut and colored, and I thought, you know what, why not laminate these? This will be fun. So I found 2 little cactus, which is 2 digital stamps that you can download in our store. And then you can see I also put one of our seasonal ones, which is a cute little chihuahua. So I've got that in there. And all I'm going to do is run it through the machine. Now I will tell you, if you have a laminator, be warned, it is very hot. Do not have your kids around to do it. But this little thing is a little workhorse. I love this laminator. Again, not sponsored. I purchased it with my own money, but I will link down below if you're interested in picking one up. I can't even suggest it enough. I told my best friend, I said, what the heck? I said, why did I own a laminator years ago? And she kind of was like, seriously? You know? But you can see, look at how easy it is just to run through. I love it so much. Now once it is fully laminated, give it a few minutes to cool. You know, just go put it somewhere where it's not going to overheat. Once you do that, the next step is you're going to go ahead and just cut everything apart. Now remember, the lamination only works if you give it a little space, right? So I give it about 1/4 of an inch all the way around when I cut out, like for example, the envelopes. Or if I cut out some of these cute little cactus, I'm going to give them about 1/4 of an inch all the way around because it needs to be able to hold them in place. Okay? So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to quickly cut out one of the cactus. By no means is this a fussy cut because I was not fussy when cutting this at all. I'm just teasing. Actually, I just kind of hacked it out. But I just wanted to show you really quick. See, you want to leave just that little border all the way around so that it holds together. Okay? So same thing goes with your envelopes. When you're making your envelopes, you want to make sure there's something that's actually going to hold them together. Now don't get me wrong, it's pretty adhered to your art, but you want it to be just that little bit stronger. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So we're going to go, and I typically, if you see, I line it right up with that edge, and then I cut. And that's about 1/4 of an inch. So the envelope ends up just like barely 1/4, and a little less than that, maybe even like a 1/16 or something, or maybe even 1/8. It's very small. So you can see, I just go right up to that little edge and chop, and then big pieces, move them out of the way. Now here's the important one. You want to cut, now see that orange line right there? Remember, that's where the envelope opens. So you want to have it where your blade is going to cut, like literally just like nothing, hardly, off of that top. But because I added extra, see, I accommodated just a little bit, right? Now watch this, watch how cool this is. Fully laminated, fully ready to go, ready to hold on to my Disney cash. Boom, there it is. How cool is that? Now what I love is that I used that extra paper, and the paper had kind of a glossy inside, so the inside of the envelope is a little glossy too. So I love it. And I love that, look at that's original art. So there's that cute, look how cute they all look laminated, and the glitter is gonna hold up. I love that little drink, he's so cute. And then look, there's all the little critters, and there's some Dole Whip, looks a little melted, some funky pizza. But look, so what you can do now is every month, like you might say, again, Jess, you were talking about some weird cash system, what's that? Well, every month, pull out $20 cash, toss in your envelope, use this little white Post-it note, or this little white index card, and put $20 in the date, $20 in the date. Before you'll know it, you'll have a ton of money saved up, because once it's pulled out of your account, you never really think about it again. So if you like this particular one, we will put this specific envelope up on Etsy, so I'll put the link down below, but obviously there's only going to be one. But thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Jessica Lynn. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. We'd love to have you back here at Jessica Lynn Original. I hope you have a wonderful day.